Hi guys, it's Dustin, and like you saw in the intro, I am working on a game called Skippy's Adventure. That's the working title. So what is Skippy's Adventure? So I want this game to be a light-hearted, fun RPG game with high-octane action and a really cute story. And I'm actually not working on this game alone. I actually have my girlfriend, Jessica, working on it. She is a wonderful writer and a great visionary, and basically fills the role that I'm terrible at, which is thinking of ideas. So together, we're going to make a great team, and we're going to have a really awesome product. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is just show off the game for you guys, and what we have so far. So if I run it, as you can see, we have a little intro scene. Slowly scrolls up into the main menu. So yeah, this is the main menu for the game so far. All programming art, so these buttons and stuff will probably change. And yeah, if I click start, we actually get thrown into the game. This is just a little demo test scene where I can test out all these entities and everything that I need to do. If I go up here, I can scare away these birds, so there's a little bit of interactions and stuff that I can do so far. Over here we have some cats and stuff. This game's going to mainly take place in space, and it's going to be a space adventure game. And Skippy's going to be able to go out and fly in a spaceship and go to different planets. And the first planet that you start on is a kitten planet, full of cats. So that's why I got some cats here. You can also see in the background there's just a little planet right here. I wrote a shader that basically takes a square image and then wraps it around a sphere and then scrolls it. It doesn't look great. Like, as you can see around the edges, it's dark. I want this to actually be transparent, so I'll probably work on that in the future and make this look a lot nicer. But yeah, I have a dialogue tree, so if I go over here, a dialogue system, if I go over here and talk to this guy, as you can see, there are text animations, color. These text animations, I can do just about anything I need with them. I can't actually take away the dialogue box, and in the future I want to script up like options so you can choose a dialogue branch and all that. Another really cool thing about this game engine is it has full polygonal collisions. So I can bounce off these edges right here, and they're all, it's a full polygonal collision detection system. So that allows for a lot of freedom. I really like this. And originally this game was supposed to be a platformer. That's the original reason why I did polygonal collisions, so that I could have slopes and all that. But yeah, I decided to change it, make it a top-down RPG game. If I click escape, you got a little pause menu. This doesn't really do anything. I guess I can click resume, and that's about it. But yeah, that's basically all I have to show you so far. Most of the work I've been doing is just code-based, actually creating the game engine and making it performant and creating an asset pipeline so I can just throw in assets and do whatever I need there. Alright, so let's go into the technologies that are going to be powering this game. So what I'm using for graphics, window management, and asset loading and all that is Raylib. I have a small little tutorial series that I do plan on continuing on my channel, but yeah, just kind of showing off what Raylib is and all that. It's a fantastic library, super flexible. Like you can do raw OpenGL calls and stuff, and completely not use any of the graphical features of Raylib. I actually have a separate project that I'm doing that with. But yeah, so first technology is Raylib. Second, I'm writing it in C++. The way I'm writing it is very much a C-like. I'm writing it in a very C-like way. Now, why am I doing that, right? Like, I'm using C++, why don't I use classes and structure everything? So, I have a separate project. It's a full 3D game engine with an editor, with scene loading, a huge world, and it's all created using pure C, C11, the C11 standard. Why on earth would I do that? And I actually didn't start off trying to make a huge game. The game originally was supposed to be kind of like a meme that I was making with my friends. It had a really ridiculous story, and it was super simple. But you know how all my projects kind of balloon, and I'm sure your projects do too. With balloon with ideas until it's this huge, unwieldy thing. That's basically what happened there. And because I started with C, I was stuck with C, even when the project got very large. But that wasn't necessarily a bad thing. One thing I found was that because it's written in C, and because of how simple C is, I am very productive. When you're writing C++, very good object-oriented C++, there's a lot of boilerplate. Because the project was written in C, I didn't have all the complex features that C++ provides me. For instance, like templates and the whole meta programming system in C++, along with the classes and methods and everything that you do with C++, which meant that I was very much restricted, but I also didn't get sucked into building out abstractions that are unnecessary and creating compile time templates that do a lot of pre-computation, which is good, but it takes a lot of time, and I'm just a single developer. So when I limit myself to just C, I focus on building the game and not building the engine, if that makes sense. Of course, I did miss a lot of things that C++ provides me. For instance, lambdas. I love lambdas and being able to just create inline functions and stuff like that. Very, very nice stuff. That, along with overloading, functional polymorphism and stuff like that, I think it's very important, and I definitely need it. That big 3D game's going to stay in C, but this one I wanted to work in C++, but to restrict myself, to give me those restrictions that I had before in C. Now, this game also includes a scripting language, and I chose a pretty unorthodox language for this. It's a language called Janet. It's a very, I wouldn't say obscure, people do know about it and people do use it, but it's a very small, simple language. It's a Lisp-like language, which if you're not familiar with a Lisp-like language, essentially, let me see if I can find a good example on this page. So here's an example of some Janet code. The syntax is all done in S expressions. Because it is a Lisp, it also has some very fantastic meta-programming features, and that's actually why I chose it. What I want to use this Lisp for is for defining out data like you would with like JSON or YAML and all that. But not only that, processing the data, and I also want to be able to create some macros that allow me to generate that data as well. I think Lisp are fantastic for embedding into game engines, and I really hope that they're used more in game engines because of the metaprogramming features, because it's not a functional language, but it's a functional first language, so that you can think of things as taking in state, doing the transformation, and then returning a new state with the changes that you made. So I think it's a really great idea. Also, because it's REPL driven, I can have a in-game REPL, read, eval, print loop in my game and write scripts and stuff. So yeah, why didn't I choose Lua? I normally embed Lua into all my game engines and stuff like that. And the main reason was Janet is super simple. Like I said, it's just S expressions. If I had to, it's trivial to write a parser for it. Well, not trivial, but it's really easy to write a parser. Actually, I've done it in the past, and I have a library that can parse Janet. So if I had to, I could parse it. I could do just anything I want. It's a very simple language, so but it has all the features that I would need to actually use it as a scripting language. All right, the last piece of technology that I'm using is Linux. I use Linux full time, and I think it's an absolutely fantastic tool for actually building games. The command line is excellent. It allows me to easily take a bunch of small little programs, script them together, and build bigger programs to process data. And I can just create a bunch of tools that just generate code, even if I wanted to. It's very great. I love Linux. If I'm on a Windows box, I feel like I'm crippled even. So I will have a video in the future coming out talking about my Linux setup and why I love working on Linux and building games in Linux. So stay tuned for that. I'll talk more about it. So the last thing I want to talk about are these devlogs. The schedule that I want to shoot for is once a week on Sunday I'll release a devlog. I'm hoping halfway in the week, maybe Wednesday, I'll be doing I'm hoping to do a game development stream where I actually build Skippy's adventure. Or I also want to live stream some of my process or some of the projects I'm writing for or tutorials that I want to make. For instance, today I'm going to be streaming development of an RPG engine, hopefully, for Love2D for a future video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this devlog. I'm going to slowly try to improve the quality. I'll be buying a new microphone soon. But yeah, stay tuned for future updates. And like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.